On Magic Online, we're in this weird spot for the next few days to where Ixalan has not been released, but Battle for Zendikar, Eldritch Moon, Shadows over Innistrad, and Oath of Gatewatch have already rotated. So we're at kind of like this little lame, duckish, weird format for the next 5 days. There's also only 46 people in the league, so these queue times might be long. If it's longer than 1 or 2 minutes, I'll queue up in the friendly and the competitive and see just whichever one fires first is what we'll play. But, kind of excited to get to try Lightning Strike in this deck. I am a little unexcited that our new 1-drop's not printed yet, but that's fine. We'll just see how it works out. Hey, Vladimus, what's up, man? We'll go ahead and start the match. I'm also interested in trying Teamer again, I guess. Opt is legal, Spell Pierce is legal, Duress is legal, the new lands are legal. Don't actually know all the other reprints, but without the new cards, there's not a whole lot of decks that are appealing to me, other than Red and Teamer. We may throw some ops in Blue White Approach and give it a try one day, but like I'm really not excited to play Blue White Approach again until we get the card Azcanta, Search for Azcanta, and this the flip legendary land. This match actually popped a lot faster than I thought it would, considering only 46 people are even in the league. Alright, well, we get to go first. Versus Pig Norton. He's a strong player. This hand's not great, but we have a 1-drop, a 2-drop, and a Hazoret, so I don't think we can like really mulligan a draw like this. We don't have any of our 11 removal spells, which is, I'll say 13. Don't have any of our 13 removal spells. Chandra kind of counts as a removal spell. And it's not, like, it's not crazy that we don't have, or that it's a mirror. Like, very much expect mirrors. Chandra's kind of bad in this match. One of the cards I'll sideboard out, but we at least drew it. Fortunately, our Hazoret doesn't even do anything next turn. We'll probably be playing a Chandra and ticking down. May tick it up if we draw a 1 or 2 drop that we can use the mana on, but if he doesn't add anything to the board, we definitely tick it up. So like even if he kills the Chandra right now, we get several cards out of his hand, and hopefully the Hazoret will be useful. There is quite a few. Oh, that kind of sucks. That means he can play his own Chandra now and kill our Chandra. Oh, I guess he's just going to attack with double Mont. So we have quite a few 1-drops in our deck. We have a lot of ways to get this Hazoret active this turn. That is none of those ways, by the way. So that's a little unfortunate. So he's going to be first to Hazoret. Hey, Boot. What's up, man? We're going to go ahead and kill his Beaumont during his draw step. He's got mana to use it now if he wants. And he did activate it. He discarded 2 lands and an Abrade. But it's going to make it hard for him to have a Hazoret that turn, so I guess that's good. So we're a little ahead in the race here, but he could have a lot of things, and he has a Soulscar Mage. I need to draw something, probably. Lightning Strike's lethal. So at least that's something that's nice. Mm, him having a second Karl Zev to block with is not everything I wanted. Yeah, we removed flow. Remember the rotations already happened on Moto, so next turn we'll be able to buy back Earthshaker. So like Lightning Strike's only really the only new card we could add. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for Monday. I was just telling the chat that I can't wait to get my hands on some Azcantas and just shuffle them straight into Blue White Approach and see what happens. That's going to be fun. So we'll discard this, and we have an Earthshaker counter in our graveyard, so just buy it back. Okay, so he's going to do some damage to this Hazoret. That's fine. It doesn't really change a whole lot. He's still dead on board. Well, with how our draw looked, I didn't actually expect to win this game. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't like out on Moto where we have like this like 5 days of this lame duck format that very few people are going to be interested in. It's just kind of awkward. Anyway, for the post board games here, I typically like all of our one drop removal and most of these free drops. I also believe the Sand Stranglers are decent, but I don't really know what to take out for them anymore, which is a little issue. We definitely don't want the Croppers, and we definitely want to remove some of the other 4-drops, I think. Or 1-drops, rather. Kind of want the Sand Stranglers, though. They're probably just better than Chandra. It looks pretty decent. I don't want to bring in Glory Bringers, and I don't really want the Chandras for the fact that, like, they could have 2 or 3 Chandra's defeats, and it just gives them way too much value to, like, kill our 4 and 5 drops for 1 mana. This 4-drop at least takes something with it, even though it's probably not spectacular either. I should probably just have another Pia or another Effort Spear Harvester, but we're going to go with this. I've not actually read the entire spoiler yet. I don't know what all the treasure cards are. I really like the new. I really love the new Explore mechanic. I believe this hand's a mulligan. We have the most important card in the match, but like we can't even block until turn 4, and that just seems too slow. Now, this hand's much better, while also not being good. I'm interested in a couple of Pirates Brew. I really wanted to read the spoilers and like do a Sado Wayfire type thing, but like a Searsist Wayfire where I just like threw up 12 brews or whatever and like worked on them a little bit, but I've just not had time to read the spoiler. I've been so consumed lately. All my 3 times have been gone. I guess technically streaming is free time, but you know what I meant when I said that. We'll go ahead and keep the Beaumont Courier. I actually think they're pretty good here. I think the Beaumont Couriers can get a lot of work done. He's got his own Beaumont Courier too, which is a little disappointing. Guess we're just going to play our own Beaumont Courier and kill his Beaumont Courier, but we can't attack. Next turn, maybe we draw land and can like abrade this and attack. Or like abrade a Karl Zev and attack or something. Oh, he had Pia. We drew another shock, so. Trade one of our Beaumonts for this Copter, I guess. He's down to one card in hand, and we still have pretty good cards in hand. Yeah, my friends suggested to me that I was dumb for wanting to do that many as well. They told me that I should stick to about 5 or 6. Hey, Wayne, not saw you around in a long time, bub. How you been? Been going great here. You still doing the work at the nursing home? I think I'm just going to get this one in play. Red, green, and Nine Dinos, blue, black pirates, and black, red pirates were cards that I definitely wanted to work on. I've already got my approach list up, but like the approach list wasn't anything special, you know. Like everybody will be able to throw the approach list together without really thinking. I didn't know how to work the fourth opt-in. That was about the only problems that I really had with it. Oh, my opponent's just totally flooding out here. Especially for like this kind of game state. We just draw card after card exactly what we need to like keep putting pressure on. So if he like bricks off one more turn, we're lethal with the lightning strike. Even if he doesn't brick off, like it's pretty good for us. Come on. Rip. So basically we just have to Fate Hazard it now and we're in pretty good shape. Would obviously like to draw some more lands. Yeah, you can, but keep in mind I've not read the spoiler, so I might not know a lot of the cards. But yeah, hit it up. We'll check it out. A hazard it. Of course. A horse is a horse, of course, of course. I think we're going to go ahead and throw the lightning strike at his face. A little disappointing. On the hindsight, if we draw, or on the positive note though, if we draw a land now, it's probably good enough. We'll throw the Chandra's Defeat at any blocker that he plays this turn, and or the hazard itself, even though it doesn't do anything to do it to the hazard itself. And then we have one turn to hit. And we got there. So we hit that land right at the right amount of times. Had to toss the old Chandra's Defeat at the Hazard, which is never something you want to do, but I'm expecting there's going to be a lot of these mirrors these next couple of days. But unfortunately, I don't really have the budget to play the other formats, so kind of stuck playing Standard. Wow, these queues are a lot faster than I expected. There was only 46 people in the queue. Or in the league. Mogged, another very strong player. Like, I'm expecting it's going to be mostly grinders these next couple of days as well. Mogged is also a guy who you typically associate with aggressive red decks. And if he is, let's just hope he doesn't have the shock. Looks like he probably has the shock. Oh, looks like we're going to have to draw a million lands again. Oh, he did not have the shock. Oh, wonderful. There's going to be this many mono red decks. You're going to see me put Chandra's Defeat in the main deck, and that's going to be fun. Oh, nice. Rootbound Crag. The new art on Rootbound Crag with the little dinosaur in the background doing the Lion King's pose is just great. Let's pull this over to the side here. I'll look at it in 1 second. I believe I'm gonna go ahead and throw a lightning strike at him. We need to get our hand kind of more emptied anyway. Oh crap! I didn't have the donator thing up. There we go. And we have double abrade for creatures. Hopefully, again, doesn't have a removal spell. Looks like he does this time. Alright, what do we got here? Canis Loop. Alright, all the lands. I know the lands. Let's read this thing. Put a landmark. Sorry. I kind of talk when I read. Wow, so 3 turns of scrying for 1 and you get like a Black Lotus out of it? That's pretty hot. Go Hazaret. Be everything we need. Gifted Everborn, I know that one. Spell Swindle, another one I have to read. Oh, that card's pretty cool too. I remember that card. Oh, here, the Vraska's Contempt is the card I've been talking about for the last couple of days, and I had no idea its name. That card is so good. So very good. Doomfall's Expertises. Revel in Riches. Oh wow, every time you get to kill one of their creatures, you get a little Lotus Petal. That's pretty hot. Yeah, well, we get to attack. Attacking's fun. Man, Scarab God has beyond impressed me. Like, that card just impresses me over and over and over and over. I can't say no to Scarab Gods ever. The Scarab God looks like it could be good. So Bristling Hydra automatically makes that other dude a 5/5. So again, he doesn't get to block this turn, but he'll be able to start blocking next turn. Well, I mean, he can block this turn, but he would lose the Hydra is what I'm trying to say. Oh no. Play all the Scarab Gods, friend. All the Scarab Gods. It's kind of interesting that if he doesn't have a Blossoming Defense, we could kill that thing now. Sure. I am a big fan of the Defense El Blosserino. It's like the Hazard can't even attack anymore. Maybe just be a blocker from now on. But all we have to do is survive 2 turns. It's Glory be. I wonder if Karl Zevs would be good in this current format. I'll get more damage by playing it. I don't think it really changes anything, but maybe I should have concealed information. We know we're keeping the Hazard back as a blocker. We're just hoping we're not dead. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do this for the F6 value. Man, I really like this treasure map card. This treasure map card is very nice. Well, it looks like we're going to get there. Yeah. Threw in that last little cheeky attack to see if I didn't block, but had to block. This treasure map card might be really nice in control. I don't even know what the other side of it is. Just the front side of it where you scry 3 times and get a lotus petal seems like reasonable. There, I found 4 of the Mirage Hammerbow Gardens when I was looking for bulk last night. It gave me such nostalgic feelings. Alright. Chandra's Defeat looks like it's probably pretty good versus Dude. What else seems decent? He showed us just like a bunch of red-green aggro cards. The Harsh Mentors might be okay versus if he's like playing Electrostatic Pummeler or versus just the Longtusk Cubs and the Bristling Hydras by themselves. Kinda think Glorybringer's good enough. It feels good enough. Like, he can fly over for 2. Seems good enough. What doesn't seem good? We're bringing in Chandra's Defeats, and we didn't see any, didn't really see anything, like, these probably don't attack that well. These probably don't attack that well. But, like, cutting those cards seems real bad. Chandra's just may not be good here. I'm not playing the Chandras, I'm not playing the Glorybringers, I guess. I like how I'll just waffle back and forth on not really knowing if I want these cards. Kinda like every card in the deck. I mean, I don't like the Soul Scar Mage after all. I don't really like the Mage at all, do we? Can't really protect that thing. Alright, we'll try this. I don't really like it. But he may not be, well, this hand doesn't seem very good. I don't think I can mulligan this hand, but like, anytime I'm not drawing removal spells, I think my hands are bad. I don't know if people have noticed that or not, but anytime I don't have at least 1 removal spell in my hand, I pretty well call my hand bad. Thank you for following my Dixie Rect. Yeah, I'm not ashamed to say that out loud. Not ashamed to say that out loud at all. On the play, I might bring back into 1-drops into Chandra's. Does that work on that? Oh, if it isn't a mana ability? I guess that's a mana ability? Radiant Flames is rotated. I'm just now realizing Radiant Flames isn't in the format anymore. I'm so giddy. I'm giddy at the thought of that. Kind of interesting. Play this first to try to make him use some energy. Probably just going to attack all out. I really don't care if this eats something. Thank you for following Moel 30. Yeah, now that the Harsh Mentor is in play, like, now he takes damage to pump that, which seems great. A decent amount of extra power in our hand. Yeah, well, that's unfortunate, but now he can't kill the Karl Zev, so I'm certainly attacking. So he still takes 5 damage this turn no matter what. Down to 9. We're losing a creature that we don't care that goes to the graveyard or not. There's an argument also that I could have killed the Servant of Conduit this turn, since he's stuck on lands a little bit. Kinda hope he kills this. That'd give us nice value from our hand. That is not killing that. Tapped it for green. Kind of interesting. Alright, so he's going to protect that with it. Which means he's going to take another massive hit. Down to 1. So we have a bundle of outs now, and we have a Hazret that's getting ready to come online. Like 3 shocks, 3 lightning helixes just win. 3 Sunscorched Deserts just win. 4 Ramunap Runes just win. So we have 14 just wins, and then we have several other good cards, of course. Well, he's attacking with both of these? Could have a Sweltering Suns, I guess. If he has a Sweltering Suns, a land would win? Land wins anyway. Untapped land would bring us out Hazret, and I'm pretty sure Hazret wins the game from this spot by itself. Anyway, so back to Mono Red. Again, if you guys like what you're seeing, I'd like to thank you guys for the 2 new followers today, and anybody who likes what they're seeing, make sure to click the follow button down below. Also, below the stream, you'll find links to my Twitter, which on Twitter you'll see every time we go live, every deck list we play, and just my random thoughts on stuff. You'll see some of my brews for the next for Ixalan Standard. It's a personal Twitter account, but it's also what I use for the stream. So you see me arguing with people from time to time, giving opinions. Like, I don't know, just follow it. That way you can see the stream if you want. And also down below, there's a link to the YouTube. On the YouTube is where I'd really appreciate the follows. Even if you don't watch the videos, the extra followers helps me get recommended to more people, which is wonderful. And if you're watching from the YouTube, remember in every video, there'll be a link down below it that has a link to both this Twitch channel, my Twitter, and the deck list for playing that day. But anyway, if you like what you're watching, follow some stuff. Thumbs up. It's all free. So, and I appreciate it. Looks like I'm dropping a few more frames today. I got to get up my blue-white approach video as soon as this Standard League's over. Standard League's actually going rather fast. We typically don't play decks like Mono Red and stuff on this stream. But again, we're in this weird format on Magic Online. I want people to know that like Ixalan is not released on Magic Online, but the 4 sets, the Battle for Zendikar, Oath, Shadows, and Eldritch Moon have already rotated out. Therefore, we're like really limited on deck options, and where we mostly play 95% of our decks on standard, we're kind of like stuck playing standard. Maybe we'll borrow a deck off somebody and try something. It's Pig Norton again. We played him round 1. We know he's playing Mono Red. This hand's fine. It's not good. Hazoret's the card that matters the most. But we have enough removal spells in a Karl Zev that I don't think we can afford to. I don't think we can afford to mulligan it. The board stays at somewhat parity to Chandra might actually be useful, even though I do not think Chandra's good in the match. It really is about Hazoret, which is why we have the 4th Hazoret. And he'll have at least a removal spell for this. Like, we have 8 removal spells on 2 mana right now, so it's pretty unreasonable to think he doesn't have at least one of them and he kept his hand. He's a good enough player to remember what we're playing versus as well, so it's not like he's going to get caught off guard or anything. So, we'll hopefully hit a land here. That would be swell. That's not a land. We'll kill this one and be a little disappointed. We would really like to play Deshandra and tick up and kill something, but puts us behind on the Hazoret count too. He didn't attack that turn. That's odd. Well, yeah, we're just not going to get anywhere the way we're going right now. He's going to be first to Hazoret, and we're not going to be able to attack with our Hazoret for like a minimum of turn, even if we did draw the land exactly next turn. So we're really far behind. We also just may not even draw the land, so like we're not guaranteed to draw the land, and the Hazoret can attack if we do draw the land. I think we're just going to play this and tick it up for mana to throw the Lightning Helix or Lightning Strike at his face. In theory, he may attack Deshandra, and if he attacks Deshandra, it kind of prevents 5 damage for us and lets us play the Hazoret, which would put us ahead of the curve if he doesn't draw a creature. And if he doesn't attack Deshandra, it gets to keep dealing 2 damage while we might be able to have to play our Hazoret as a blocker. But yeah, we're in really bad shape. He was first to Hazoret, and his Hazoret could attack a full 2 turns before ours could. I'm assuming he has a removal spell in his hand, so he's kind of like tanking on what he wants to do with it. If it's a Lightning Strike, it should almost undoubtedly go to my head, I think. Alright, so we go down to 5. Let's exile the top card and see what we hit. Lightning Strike, unfortunately we can't play it. So we're in reasonable shape here as long as he doesn't have another burn spell in his hand. If he's got another burn spell, the game is obviously over. Alright. So the game's just over. Anyway, same sideboarding as we did round one. We want all of these little cards, and we want these little cards, and we want these little cards. Cards that I think are bad are like these Chandras, can't have that many 4-drops in the deck. The Croppers don't really accomplish much, and our 1-mana removal spells are just too solid versus them. And I think we're going to get rid of the Soulscar Mages. But that could be wrong. I think the Kinras are a little bit better. It could just be the Braids too. We don't know that he has Effort Spear Harvester, and that's really the only thing that we truly want to abrade, right? Let's actually just try this on the play. On the draw, I'll probably bring the Braids back in. We'll try different things, and we'll try sideboardingly different almost every game to see if we can come to any conclusions. 1 land, a 4-drop, 2 3-drops. I think we have to mulligan it. And this hand's obviously not great, but I believe we have to keep it. Let's go ahead and keep. I guess we'll keep the Lightning Helix. Seems high impact enough. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Soulscar on turn 1. I think it's a better target for him to shock. And he kind of has to shock the Soulscar Mage on turn 1, whereas he doesn't have to for the other way around. He can like wait till we attack, which gives him a little more information or whatever. Kind of interesting. I will throw away the Magma Spray for a random card, if given the opportunity. So he's going to abrade that. Might as well Lightning Strike him and throw away the Magma Spray for 1 card then. Turns out it was the exact same. We got a shock out of it. He has 5 cards in hand. We have 1. This is just not going to go well. Oh, and double Beaumont. Rip. Land Hazret would keep us in the game? Of course, if he has Land Hazret, we're just dead, so. And he got the Hazret a turn before us again. It's going to be, thank you for following, Cyberkraken. It's going to be the story of this standard. Who plays that Hazret first is going to be all that really matters. And that's game, folks. Dead on board. We missed our 4th land drop. It happens. It's not that big of a deal. Onward into the next match. Don't think we made any poor decisions. I just don't think the decisions really are that relevant. As you saw in both round 1 and round 3 versus the same opponent, it literally is just who plays Hazret and attacks with it first. There's not much more to say about that match. That's a reasonable hand. Doesn't excite me. Have to keep it though. He mulliganed to 6 and he left on top. Rip. To see what we're up against here. I think we'll go ahead and get the braid down. I think it's more important to kill that than to deal a couple of damage. It gets too big too quick. And we lose, probably. Definitely probably lose. You're too busy watching Thundermo. It's fine. We're missing a 1-drop, so like our deck's going to be weaker on average because like the 1-drop's not been printed yet. Alright, let's go ahead and let him use his lightning strike or whatever. May not have a removal spell. Like, we've not drawn any, and we certainly play a lot more than he has. Don't really care if he kills either of these with his energy. Making him spend his energy is kind of good for me. He won't be able to play another red spell until he draws more. Right on time. So we're playing a 24 land deck again, but as you guys may have noticed, I don't draw lands with any deck I play at all. Could play the Hazard and just try to draw a land next turn. I think I'm fine with that. I should have attacked first. I was watching him, but he was like trying to play some weird brew, and like I just wasn't feeling it. It's like he was trying to play a worse version of Green Red Pummeler with like glory bound initiatives for some random reason and like a split card, and I was just like, no, I'm gonna go stream or something. We done. We done here. Yeah, that was the best case scenario, right? Untap land. That's not an untapped land. Guess I'll just let him eat something. Yeah, just letting him eat something seems kind of poor. Maybe we just make him spend energy again. Maybe we just play that and don't do anything else. We're falling more and more behind, though. We pretty well just want to draw a land of some kind before it's too late. I'm not too concerned about that card. That was actually kind of a weird card for him to play there. But I guess since we didn't draw a land, it didn't matter. This not drawing a land thing really like kind of crippled us this game. In what has to be a fairly bad match for us to begin with. There was a turn or two that we could have sacked a Beaumont to empty our hand, which would have been fine, but like our hand was so strong that I didn't think it was ever worth doing that. I should have talked about those lines at the time though. Like I spit should have mentioned those lines. Yeah, like the game's not over. The game's not over. We're not dead. Uh we're just not in great shape either. Seems like I'm dropping a few more frames. Also, thank you for following Negata. I don't think I've saw you around before. I appreciate it. Oh no, like we're in decent shape. Like he's getting another decent blocker here though. Oh lord, I don't know what I just pressed. And this blocker gives him energy for this. But we'll have Hazoret. We have a Beaumont. Um, we're also gonna have a second Beaumont. And our own Hazoret makes him have to block something every turn, so at least that's good. The Magic really just hates me today. Like how unlucky is that to draw another 4-drop? Yeah, maybe we'll hit a land. This is kind of a good draw ish in a way. Like it wasn't a great draw. We definitely get some damage through if we just attack with everything, right? He also has a massive attack back. Kinda think this is fine. Like he can't really swing back or he's just dead, right? And I don't really care what he blocks. Like I plan on sacking the 2 Beaumont couriers anyway. And I don't really care if the Kenya goes to the graveyard because we get a land, it gets to come back and it's better when it comes back. Losing to Karl Zev kind of sucks a little bit, but like I said, I plan on sacking these Beaumonts this turn anyway. So fine, and he takes 2 damage. They already are the decks to beat. But they're going to become... They're going to continue to be the decks to beat. So if he buys back something this turn, he's out of energy again and no way to get more energy, which is kind of good for us. I think Dinos and Pyro Tempo will both have a chance. I also think there'll be a Pirate aggro deck that's above average. So opponents at an effective 4 right now. And we have a lot of attackers. They have a lot of blockers. So what happens if we attack with everything? We like eat something. Probably eat this. Well, we make this not block. Well, I guess we make this not block because we don't want him buying it back, right? So if that doesn't block, we eat that. And he just blocks, and takes 1. That doesn't seem to get us anywhere. So I guess I can't even attack then? I could play a land and get back to Kenra. So if I play a land to get back to Kenra, I make this not block, this not block, and I attack all out. What happens if I do it like that? So he has 3 blockers then. If he blocks the biggest 3, he still takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're not dead on the crackback if we do that, are we? I don't think we are. So we make this not block. If we attack with it all, we make this not block so he doesn't get more things back. We just probably make this not block at this point. We don't care if he gets things back since we're trying to win on the next turn. And like he would chump block here. He would eat this. Then he'd block my next biggest and they would trade and he'd be taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, fine with that. Don't think we're dead. I think he has to lose at least 2 of his things. 5, 13, 14, 15, 16. Actually, we are dead. I left myself dead on board. This was a bad attack. I left myself dead on board. Oh, I'm not a very good player. I don't think pinging with Hazoret for 3 turns would have worked, would it? Yeah, this was bad though. I left myself dead on board. I forgot to calculate in that he gets to deal 3 damage with the Scarab God. So that was a pretty bad play by me. Yeah. But it doesn't gain, it drains, and I forgot to add that 3 damage in. So I definitely just killed myself. I deserve to lose though. I played poorly. Alright, we're dead. I definitely played poorly. Yeah, it's definitely a punt, James. I make an attack that leaves myself dead on board is definitely a punt. Anyway, I think Harsh Mentor's good in this match. I actually think Deshandra's defeats are pretty good in the match as well. The Glorybringers aren't impressive, but they're okay. Actually not super great depending on how many Chandra's defeats our opponents play. That's definitely a punt, bub. Never really liked Chandra in this match either, but it's probably better than some of the things we have. Like, the shocks aren't great. Guess the braids aren't great unless we know they're playing Effort Harvester, which is typically a one of at best. Yeah, we'll try this. Thanks for following, Alex Magic, just in time to see me pun a game, and Starshine Princess. Appreciate it, guys. And gals, I guess. Guys and gals, or whatever we associate with these days. His hand's okay. Rootbound Crag, friends. Get it up. Just gonna play the Harsh Mentor. I'm willing to die to a Sweltering Suns pretty badly. This hand was a very good hand, though. We may not lose to Sweltering Suns. Yeah. Well, on the positive note is they probably don't have a Sweltering Suns if they're doing that. Just have to hope they don't have Blue Source in the Whirler Virtuoso. Will it be playable? Yes. Will it be worse than Grasp? Probably. It about has to be playable, though, because there's just really not anything else in the format now. Like, the removal spells definitely took a step back. Sure. I'm gonna attack with a Mao here. He can block anything he wants, but like, if he kills this Beaumont, we get to deal an additional 2 damage, and I think that's fine. It's like more than half of his life total either way. And he's got to deal with the hazard every turn now. We're going to get plenty enough cards off the other Beaumont as itself, I think. So, we probably can actually hold... Yeah, a creature heavy meta is better for spectating. It's like better for coverage. It's kind of interesting too, like, attacking and blocking is definitely different. So the hazard is still good for at least this turn. Oh, hello Crasher. You're a good card, aren't you? Not that good in this spot because of the Whirler Virtuoso, but like, you're still good. To attack with the Kinra or not. Could eat 2 more energy, I guess. But I don't think it's really worth it. Kinda want to sack the Beaumont to see if we hit a land. I'm also kind of afraid to sack the Beaumont because it could put us in a spot where could put us in a spot where we can't attack with the hazard next turn, so I guess I won't sack it, especially now that he chumped with the whirler as well. Or not chumped, but traded with the whirler. Well, what I kind of wanted to sack it because I didn't know what he was going to do with the whirler. So, like, it changes the information, right? If the whirler's going to stay in play, I definitely want to sack it. If the whirler's going to die, I kind of don't want to sack it. So now the Lone Tusk Cub gets huge. Alright, so we sideboarded out of Braids and we have a real problem now. I have a real problem now. I have less of a problem now, but he's very likely to have a removal spell, so it's still a bit of a problem. If I attack with everything, he just blocks this here, gains 3, takes 1. It's probably not worth it. I guess he takes an additional 2 if he blocks the Harvester, and an additional 2 if he gets the gain life. So it like could be 4. Have to see if he makes any more responses to the harsh mentor before we make a decision. But him just gaining 3 a turn with the Harvester is probably enough to win this game. And yes, I realize that he has to spend 4 life. I don't know. Like he'll have a removal spell for the mentor. He doesn't have a removal spell for the mentor, obviously we're in fine shape, but I'm just assuming he's going to have a removal spell, right? Like it's already in my head that he'll have a removal spell. I don't expect that to stay the same either with his deck. Like for him to only have 1 energy or him not to find another removal spell means he's drawing poorly. And like sure we can beat a poor draw. I'm just trying to think of like how do we beat his average draws. Beating average draws seems kind of hard here. Does that do anything? This does at least kill something with the Hazard. Probably good enough to attack then? So if we attack with it all, takes 2 life to even block with this guy. So we'd have 3 blockers and 4 life. If he blocks the biggest, this one, and this one, still takes like 1,000,000? Yep, seems good. So he only has 3 blockers, right? If he just doesn't pump that up, he just blocks here, and he blocks here. He still takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm fine with that. What we got here? So what's the look for post-rotation Ramunap Red for you? It's kind of similar to this. It'll be a deck like we're playing today, except it'll have shoot. What am I trying to say? It'll have the 1 mana one that like if it rated gets bigger or whatever. So like he's not dead here, but like, and he gets to turn off our Harsh Mentor, but like I still think it was the better play to do this. We wasn't going to win a game where it was just kind of like a back and forth stalemate, and that looked like our best turn to get any damage in at all. I guess we can still win. He's hellbent. I don't have to worry about that. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry. It's up, Dumbo. I apologize for not knowing what the card's called. So he's going to go down to 1, right? Alright, I'm not going to go down to 1. It should be at 1, I believe. Well, I was already on So Scoured Mage the entire time. I do not know what the new Barrage card is. Sorry, I don't know what that one is. I think the new 1-drop will be good though. Lightning Strike's obviously good. Lightning Strike's been very good for us today. So he has to draw a creature or he's just dead, and if he draws a creature, he's probably just dead. Whirler Virtuoso would be very good for him, obviously. I think Whirler Virtuoso is probably the only card we can't beat from this spot. Or that we have trouble beating from this spot, rather. I mean, we could still beat it, but... Virtuoso would come down, put 2 blockers into play, and let him gain 3 life. So he'd be able to block all of our things. Take 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's probably just dead. Oh, that one. Yeah. The new Hammer of Bogarden with Raid. That card's pretty sweet. Do you use the new enchantment in the build? The legendary red enchantment that turns into like a lightning bolt on a stick that turns into an Isochron Scepter or whatever? I don't know what it's called. I really got to read the spoiler and learn card names. Alright, anyway, so we know he has a Braid now, so I guess these are good again? Or sorry, we know he has the Harvester, so I guess I want those. Probably should have had them the entire time, but... I think the Glorybringers are considerably less good on the draw. I think the So Scoured Mages aren't particularly good on the draw either. Beaumont Couriers are probably still fine. We do have Chandras again. I guess maybe we don't have any better cards than these. So we want one cheeky shock that doesn't really seem like it does anything? Guess that puts out a flyer that doesn't really do anything. I just don't want anything else, do I? Alright, 1 shock because we play bad. Maybe we can get a servant with it or something. I took the 25th land out of the sideboard, and it's looking like I regret it. It sounds fine. Like, it's just not good. I'm pretty well going to say that every hand is not good that doesn't have at least one removal spell in it. So just keep that in mind. Every time I call a hand bad, I'm never going to call a hand good that doesn't have a removal spell in it. Another Chandra when I didn't really want the first Chandra. I just opened it out of a pack, and I only had 3, so I could sell it and get another one. It's actually worth less. It's worth less. It's just what we happened to open. Rip. Well, at least we hit a land, I guess. I'm pretty sure that he has a 1-mana removal spell in his hand the way he played turn 1, but that's fine. Yeah, go ahead and pop it up. Yeah, I thought he had one. I think he has a 1-mana one as well. Yeah, post anything you want in here as long as it's not offensive, rather. What do we got? Beaumont Courier, Soulscour Mage, Ancropper, Hazoret, Shock, Abrade, Lightning Strike, Repeating Barrage, 2 Chandras, 24 lands, 4 Glory Bees in the sideboard. What's Utility Shot? Well, we really needed to land that turn. So, like, we're not even winning the race anymore. The Lone Tusk Cub's pretty much going to be able to beat us from here. Guess we'll hold the Beaumont Black as a chump blocker. We were right, by the way. He did have the 1-mana removal spell. Yeah, playing it is a fine bluff, but like they typically have an attune or something. So I'm not actually sure what cards we could beat right now. Confiscation Cood, my dude. And we're dead. We didn't really get to play this game, but that's fine. We missed a land drop twice. Wasn't likely to win it anyway. Anyway, pop up the next match, and if you like what you guys are seeing, make sure you hit the follow button and click the links down below the stream to both my Twitter and my Twitch. On the Twitter, you'll see all the deck lists we play every time we go live and random other things. On the YouTube, you'll see all the streams, some content that hasn't been streamed. And if you're watching from the YouTube, remember in every video, there's a description, or in every video in the description, there's a link to both my Twitter, my Twitch, and the deck list for playing. Team Energy's not losing anything. Like, they lose Game Trail, but they pick up Rootbound Crag. So not really losing anything. I think this was our Teamer Energy list. Or not ours, but this was like Yuya's from Worlds or whatever. or Yuyas from Japanese Nationals. Like, it loses to Wanderers, but they're easily replaced by Bristling Hydra, and Bristling Hydra's probably a better card anyway. It loses to Tireless Trackers. It's not that big of a loss. It makes you worse versus control decks, but that's about it. And the only other card in the main deck that it loses is Game Trail, which Rootbound Craig's probably a better card. And in the sideboard, I don't think it loses a card, does it? It loses Radiant Flames, but that can be Swelter. It loses Tireless Tracker as well. Like, Tireless Tracker is a big loss, but it's not that big of a loss. Teamer is very good versus Mono Red. Whirler Virtuoso is OP versus Mono Red. It's like very, very good versus Mono Red. And now they even get access to that little green card that lets you gain 2 life. My particular choice would probably be... Where's our Moto match at? There we go. Still waiting for Q. My particular choice, I think the strongest deck out of those is probably going to be Teamer. Pummeler has a hard problem beating Mono Red, and there's not really a solution to it. Not a solution that I've found anyway. And all of the solutions that I have found make you considerably weaker versus like blue-white approach or like blue-black control and the other mid-rangey decks. So like, I'm not willing to like just be bad versus one thing that's that popular. And Mono Red, at least for the first couple weeks, is going to be by far the most popular deck, and I think the Teamer match versus Mono Red is pretty good. So I'd probably stick on the Teamer range, and I think Teamer can easily be built to beat a meta easier than Pummeler can be built to beat a meta. Because like Pummeler's main deck is always just going to be Pummeler's main deck, and that like you have to try to do what you're trying to do. The sideboard, you have a little leeway to go one way or the other, but like you can't go too far in any direction because there's just not enough cards. And I think the control decks are going to be a little worse in general as well, which makes the Teamer deck a little better in general. But if I was picking between exactly those two decks, I would probably be leaning on the Teamer side. Oh, well, we won the dice roll and we get to play first again, and this hand's good. Oh look, a removal spell. I called the hand good. If anybody's wanting to know what it takes for me to call a hand good, it's basically some lands, some creatures, and at least one removal spell. I'll insult every other hand. I'm like clockwork. I will insult every other hand. So we got the first 2 matches done, or the first 3 matches done in about 40 minutes, but the last match itself took close to half an hour, which is kind of odd because that match did not seem like it was slow. Guess we have had some wait time in queue. I do not know what Lana Ray is. Also, do not know the new Red Reality Smasher. I think is worse than Glorybringer. Like, it's not a bad card. It's a fine card, and I'll be very happy to cast a card. But I think in general it's worse than Glorybringer. I would rather have 4 Glorybringers before I would rather have the first Red Reality Smasher. Maybe in a deck that had harder mana. But like if we're talking about just mono red, like double red isn't a cost. But I don't know what Lana Ray is. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. Alright, so it's our third mono red match. Again, because we're in this weird lame duck standard for the next couple of days, we're just expecting a bunch of these. I thinking about actually just putting Chandra's in the main, or Chandra's defeat in the main deck, I expect so many of them. We might have to try that in a friendly league, though. I don't know if I'm confident enough to try that in a competitive league. Assume he'll have some kind of removal spell. Just fine. Well, he killed the other one. Haste 2/2 that when it attacks creates a colorless artifact token that ramps and gets +1 for every artifact sacrificed until end of turn. That card sounds good. Why have I not heard about that card yet? That card seems very good. Our shocks are prettier than his shocks. Wow, I started dropping frames like crazy. Well, on a positive note is we do get to use our Hazoret first. May not have another removal spell. That actually does not sound bad. I'm gonna have to look that card up. I like the thought of that card. That card sounds sweet to me. Alright, looks like we're shocking the face. Still 4 cards though. Oh, a nice little removal spell there too to try to beat a help us get around a blocker. Let's pop this card up. Let's pull it over here so everybody can look at it. Oh, the art on that card is pretty sweet too. Whatever. I really, really like this card. I really, really like that card. So he had his own Hazoret. We'll go ahead and play the Chandra and deal 2 to him. Alright, he's done. Yep, but like I said, as you've noticed so far in all 3 matches, it's the first Hazoret wins the match in these. Yeah, I do like... as anybody knows to me, I'm not really into flavor of Magic, and I'm not super into the art, but I very, very much like this new set. Alright, so we definitely want our sprays and our Chandra's defeats. We also want our Harvesters and our Pias. I think we want our Sand Stranglers, but I'm not 100% sure. Feels like if I'm playing this card, it's for this match. We have less cards to take out now than we used to take out. In the older builds, I always took out the 4 Falconwrath as well. So, like, when I was updating the deck, I didn't really think about what I was taking in and out of matches, but which, by the way, is very poor. When you're building a deck, always think about the cards you want to bring in, but also think about the cards you want to take out. So, like, in the older build of this deck, we didn't have this extra shock, which I really want, and we didn't have, or we had 4 Falconwraths. I definitely don't want the Chandras. I don't think the Chandras are very good in this match. What do we got over here? You think Red will be tier 1 next standard? Yeah, I think it will. If I'm guessing, at least week 1, Red and Teamer, maybe 4-color, but like Teamer and Red will be the best 2 decks. I also think that there'll be a blue-black Pirates deck that's pretty good. I think there'll both be a red-green Dinosaurs deck and a Nye Dinosaurs deck that are both pretty good. I think there'll be a black-red or Grixis Pirates deck that's pretty good as well. I think the control decks are going to get a little bit worse in general, but like I think they can still exist. Thank you for following JR DA Ilmi Dameron Damon Damon HV. Yeah, I don't know. Um. Anyway, so back to this. On the play, I think I'm just going to cut these. Or sorry, on the draw, I think I'm just going to cut these. On the play, I might bring them back in. It doesn't look particularly good. I like the idea of this coming out and being able to block a Hazard while killing something. But I also kind of want the Soul Skyr mages in the deck too, because they're like our one way to kill a Hazard. I think, I believe that vehicles will still be okay. Like, we tried the red-white vehicles, and it was pretty good. This hand's fine. There's no removal spell, and we're not really going to be able to get our hand clean for Hazoret, but, like, seems better than an average hand. Actually, it seems like a very average hand. Blue-black Pirates is going to give me fits. The Carnage Tyrant's going to be... The Carnage Tyrant really has the potential to be format defining. Like, that card's going to be a lot better than most people give it credit for. Thank you for following the Real Colonel. Like, I was thinking about... Oh, I need to pop this up. I was thinking about the the blue-white approach deck, which is kind of what we're famous for here at this channel. And by famous, I mean, I just play it a lot. We're not famous at all. But, like, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to beat that card anymore. There's the Sea Wreckage card, and that's fine, but, like, doesn't feel to me like it changes the match enough. Those decks will still be around too, but in my experience, they're kind of bad versus the mono red deck, and I expect the mono red deck to be what the format's all about to begin with. So yeah, we're just not going to get to these Hazards this game. I probably should start thinking about blocking, but I can't even really block. Because the decks that use it, the decks like Teamer and stuff like that, are already really good versus mono red. And that gives those decks a good card against their weakness. Like, their weakness are the control decks. The decks that mono red preys on, right? But like, Carnage is going to give those decks like a really good chance to beat it. Like, it's going to be very hard for your blue-black decks to beat Teamer now that Teamer has access to Carnage, for example. While they're still going to be good versus mono red themselves. That's why I think it might be kind of format defining. I think that card really shores up one of the weaknesses to the deck. Oh, another one of those, you say? Well, that's not bad. Yeah, we have a problem here, Lucy. That card's very good too. That card's very good too. Like the does he draw his own Hazard off the top? All right. Well, this game's just over then, since we can't even block with errors, and we'll move on to the next game. The red-white Planeswalker? Do you mean the dinosaur Planeswalker? Alright, so I want to try to speed the deck up on the play. Definitely want to try to speed the deck up on the play. Be a little bit punishing. Hurazar, whatever it's called. Not actually sure what it's called. Maybe I don't want all of these. I think I'd rather just have this. Anyway, so here we come down to it. The the third game of the fifth match to decide whether we get a pity chest or not. Played versus Teamer and 3 mono reds, which is pretty expected, and like one red green beatdown deck that may or may not have been Pummeler. Like, he had a blossoming defense, but we didn't see any Pummeler stuff game one. So we'll play first. And we have a very good draw. We have a 1-drop, a 2-drop, a removal spell, and we have a Hazoret. So hopefully we just get to the Hazoret. I thought that Dinosaur would be like a $8 to $12 card, so I didn't want to spec on it when it first came out at $5, but I didn't realize the rest of the set was going to have like good cards but no value, right? Like, the mythics for the most part seem to be mediocre, and I think that really drove up the price of Carnage. So I think this hand's a pretty good hand. He mulliganed, so that's, I guess, good for us. Him having Karl Zev's like the only thing that I really don't want to happen from here. Well, I mean, I obviously want to draw a land, but that's kind of interesting. Definitely just going to get damage in. I'm not going to worry about killing the Beaumont on turn 1. Or his turn 1 Beaumont, I should say. Just going to keep attacking and trying to apply the pressure to help out this Hazoret when we get there. His second Beaumont doesn't do a whole lot. But he's willing to block now. So now we just need to find a land. And we found a land. So that's pretty nice. It isn't in paper for a little while, but it is on Moto because Battle for Zendikar and Shadows, Eldritch Moon, and Oath have all rotated on Moto. And we don't get Ixalan until Monday on Moto. So, unless he's got some card that I'm not thinking about, this game's kind of over. We just curved perfectly into Hazoret, and that's about all it takes to win this match. Which is one of the reasons that I really dislike the mirror match. If you noticed, we played... Oh, we got our pity chest. Whee! Let's go back and do a small recap of the matches. Like, if you notice, we played 7 games versus Mono Red tonight, and all 7 of them were determined by who attacked with Hazoret first. But anyway, so we went 2-1 versus Mono Red. We lost to Teamer, which is a hard match, and I punted game 1. I don't know if I would have won game 1, but I certainly misplayed game 1 very poorly, or very badly. I'm not 100% sure I would have won even if I hadn't made the player, but like, we definitely know that I left myself dead on board like an idiot. That game 1 was pretty brutal. And then we beat a green-red deck that may have been Pummeler, may not have been Pummeler. I have no idea to know whether it's Pummeler or not. Kind of a short stream today. We just streamed for about 100 minutes, a little over an hour and a half, but it is almost 8 o'clock here, and I'm still going to go outside and do some exercises and stuff, so I think I'm going to hop off here. But as usual, I'll be back tomorrow, and I would like to thank... looks like the 6 of you, 7 of you, 8 of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, the 8 of you for following. I appreciate it. Remember, if you like what you see, give us a follow here on Twitch. And if you really like what you see, you can actually pull up the deck list while we're talking, or while I'm like saying goodbye. If you really like what you see, make sure to click the link down below and follow both my Twitter, where you'll see every time we go live, all the deck lists we play, some random musings, and if I ever read the spoiler, we'll try to get some brews up there. Right now we have the main deck changes that I'm going to be looking to make to Blue White Approach on my Twitter. And if you really, really like what you're watching, go follow the YouTube. On the YouTube, you'll find every stream, some non-streamed things. And if you're watching from the YouTube, in every description, there's a link to both this Twitch, the Twitter, and the deck list for playing. So I think we'll give Gabe Nassif a host because there's nobody else that I really watch that's online right now. Anyway, thanks everybody. And take care. Nice chatting with you guys as well.